Sesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Kori Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se ko Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki jai. Sri Jamunamai Gangamai Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premananda Hari Bol. All glory is the sum devotees. All glory the sum devotees. All glory is the sum devotees. Jai Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, Text 42, The Punishment and Reward of Kali. Vishasya Nastam Trin Padan Tapa Saucham Dayan Iti Pratisandada Ashvasya Mahim Cha Samavadayat Varshasya Nastam Trin Padan Tapasocham Dayamiti Pratisandada Ashvasya Mahimcha Samavardayat Rishasya Nastam Strin Padan Tapasaucham Dayam Iti Pratisandada Ashvasya Mahimcha Samavardayat Rishasya Nastam Strin Padan Tapasaucham Dayam Iti Pratisandada Ashvasya Mahimcha Samavardayat. Vishasya Nastam Trin Padan Sapa Saucham Dayam Iti Pratibad Asvasya Mahimcha Samavadayat Vasya Nastam Trin Padan Dayam Iti Tisandana Asasya Mahimcha Samavadayat Vitasya Nasam Strim Padan Tapasocham Dayam Iti Prasisandada Ashvasya Mahimcha Samavardayat Visasya Nastam Trin Pada Tapasocham Dayamiti Pratisandada Ashvasya Mahimcha Samavardayat Vishasya nastam chin padan tapasocham dayam iti patisandada ashvasya mayim cha samavadayat. Mataji's Vishasya nastam chin padan tapasocham dayam iti patisandat masyasya ja samavadayat. Vishasya nastam chin padan tapasocham dayam iti patisandada ashvasya hincha samavadayat. Vishasya of the bull, the personality of religion. Nastan, lost. Trin, 3. Padan, legs. Tapa, austerity. Saucham, cleanliness. Nayam, mercy. Iti, thus. Patisandade, reestablished. Ashvasya, by encouraging activities. Mahim, the earth. Cha, and. Samavadayat, perfectly improved. Translation. Thereafter, the king reestablished the lost legs of the personality of religion, the bull, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. By designating particular places the personality of Kali, for the personality of Kali, Maharaj Parikshit practically cheated Kali. In the presence of Kali, Dharma, in the shape of a bull, the earth in the shape of a cow, he could actually estimate the general condition of his kingdom, and therefore he at once took proper steps to reestablish the legs of the bull, namely austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. And for the general benefit of the people of the world, he saw that the gold stock might be employed for stabilization. Gold is certainly a generator of falsity, intoxication, prostitution, enmity, and violence. But under the guidance of a proper king or public leader or Brahmin or a sannyasi, the same gold can be properly utilized to reestablish the lost legs of the bull, the personality of religion. Maharaj Parikshit, therefore, like his grandfather Arjun, collected all illicit gold kept for the propensities of Kali and employed it in the Sankirtan Yajna as per instruction of the Srimad Bhagavatam. As we have suggested before, one's accumulated wealth may be divided into 3 parts for distribution, namely 50% for the service of the Lord, 25% for the family members, and 25% for personal necessities. Spending 50% for the service of the Lord or for propagation of spiritual knowledge in society by way of the Sankirtan Yajna is the maximum display of human mercy. People of the world are generally in darkness regarding spiritual knowledge, especially in regard to the devotional service of the Lord, and therefore to propagate the systematic transcendental knowledge of devotional service is the greatest mercy that one can show in this world. When everyone is taught to sacrifice 50% of his accumulated gold for the Lord's service, certainly austerity, cleanliness, and mercy automatically ensue. And thus the lost three legs of the personality of religion are automatically established. When there is sufficient austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, naturally Mother Earth is completely satisfied, and there is very little chance for Kali to infiltrate the structure of human society. Vishasya nastam chinpadan tapaso cham dayam iti pratisandada ashvasya mahimcha samavardayat. Thereafter, the king reestablished the lost legs of the personality of religion, the bull, and by encouraging activities he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. Om Jnanat Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So herein, the proper utilization of gold is outlined by Srila Prabhupada. Gold used in the service of our senses leads to degradation and a bad situation in the earth. Loss of austerity, loss of cleanliness, loss of truthfulness, all of the godly qualities. Tapas socham dayam iti. But by utilizing the gold, by utilizing Mother Sita in the service of Ram, when Sita is back in the service of Ram and away from Ravana, then everything is properly situated and the earth becomes very happy and everything becomes glorious. I know personally I was sent here in 1988 to assist Sura Prabhu at the BBT, and there was a treasurer here already we were managing for the trustee Sura Prabhu. And one day the treasurer's father or mother or both passed away in an accident right in the beginning when we came. And all of a sudden, he was gone. His parents were very wealthy. And apparently there was a big inheritance. And the only thing we heard from him is about 2 weeks later, I got a package with 4 kurtas, 2 dhotis, a bead bag, and beads. Thank you, Sura. So gold easily pollutes even the devotee. That sometimes if Krishna was to give great fortune, if a devotee is not trained seriously and sincerely, that gold can drag one away from devotional life. We were last weekend on a plane to Oakland, California, the cheapo airlines, Spirit. Left very early in the morning, came back very late at night. We were going, Temple Bhajan Band, to chant at the Rath Yatra in Berkeley, California on Telegraph Avenue. Wonderful event, lots of chanting, prasadam, Srila Prabhupada's books, lots of cleanliness, lots of austerity, lots of mercy, and total truth. But on the same plane, we were kind of astonished. Almost every single person on the plane was a burly man or a burly woman with big black t-shirt, Oakland Raiders. It was all the Los Angeles, I think it's the Oakland Raiders. It said Raiders. They were all drunk at 6:30 in the morning, completely intoxicated. No cleanliness, no austerity, no mercy. Singing the glories of the Oakland Raiders and weighing down the plane. At least out of the 100 people on the small plane, at least 70 were all wearing the black t-shirt and faces painted, and so many bizarre. We were astonished. But we were going to chant the glories of Lord Krishna. And these people were on the same plane going, wasting gold. The plane cost a few $100s. To get a ticket to the Oakland Raiders game costs several $100s if you have good seats. To get transportation from the airport to the they're utilizing all of their gold, all of their extra funds for people throwing around a ball and hitting each other violently, causing mental disturbances. And what they call when the head hits, and concussions. And they have a disease from several concussions. When we came back at 11 at night, after Rath Yatra was over, wonderful day of prasadam, kirtan, and Srila Prabhupada's books on Telegraph Avenue, all of the people were extremely quiet, and we could tell it was the same people returning the Oakland Raiders had lost. No one was singing, no one was joyous. They were upset, very upset. I spent all my gold and probably season's tickets, and the Oakland Raiders lost. We were very happy coming back from Rath Yatra, very peaceful and satisfied, full of Krishna Katha. But for those who wasted their funds in bizarre sense gratification, it's not even really sense gratification, but they make it some type of sense gratification. For wasting the gold, they're suffering like anything. Nobody spoke. Everyone was long-faced, as they say. So here Prabhupada says, Srila Prabhupada states, 50% of one's accumulated wealth should be given for the Sankirtan Yajna. Sometimes we get a little bewildered because if someone is an average worker, makes 40, 50,000 a year, is spending on rent $1,500 a month in Los Angeles or San Francisco, another $1,000 on food, another $500 on car. There's not that much, there's not 50% left. There's basically just a little pittance left. But whatever is left one should utilize 50% for spreading the Sankirtan mission. If you get some big inheritance, 50% should be given for spreading the Sankirtan mission. If you just got a big donation yesterday, you can come up after class, 50% would be fine. We'll accept and give it to the BBT. 25% for family members and 25% for emergency. This is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I believe it was Sanatana Goswami. So the science of Krishna consciousness is such, this is science, that we utilize everything in Krishna's service. Then we become very happy and peaceful. If we utilize things in the service of Maya, if we utilize the energy and the riches in the service of sense gratification, then we become very distraught. We become bewildered. Just like in society today, people, the biggest problem is mental disease. People are very disturbed. Parnal piyusa sabya kalo asmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hiupadruta. In this Kali Yuga, people are short-lived, misguided, quarrelsome, and above all, always disturbed at trifles. They're disturbed because they're trying to enjoy the senses. We're trying to enjoy the senses in this material world. But the senses are limited, and sense gratification, when the senses come in contact with their objects, the objects are practically unlimited, but the senses are very limited. The objects are, what's the word in Bhagavad Gita? Unlimitedly mutable. Unlimitedly mutable, this material world. But the senses and the objects have a beginning and an end. One can only eat so much. One can only drink so much. One can only enjoy, so-called, so much sense gratification till one becomes extremely disturbed. Therefore, in Krishna consciousness, we have to put, as they say in my country, our best foot forward. I can say that especially. I don't know if you can say that. But I can say that I have to put my best foot forward. So, similarly, in our society, we have to put our best foot forward and show people not that, like them, some of our neophyte people may be a little bit on the mental platform or just came from a state hospital or mental institution, but we have our trained devotees, seasoned devotees who have read Srila Prabhupada's books, who have chanted 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, who have engaged in devotional service for years of their life to explain and show the public. Someone comes to the temple, we put our best foot forward. Someone who can explain nicely and who they can identify with as a sober, normal personality. And they can identify, and they're attracted. Just like our book distributors, when they go out and approach people, immediately people are struck because they see such nice men and ladies, gentlemen and gentle ladies, that they can identify with, that are of wonderful character because of their Krishna consciousness. So we have to put our best foot forward. People come to the temple, or when we're going out, be on our best behavior to represent Srila Prabhupada. This isn't a movement for crazies and lazies, but a place for very thoughtful and spiritually minded personalities. And then automatically, when they see our devotees so serious and sincere, at once they're struck. Nice people will be attracted to come to this movement. They see our activities full of austerity, so attractive austerity and penance, full of cleanliness. Devotees very clean, inside and outside, full of mercy and compassion. They're at once struck and attracted to Krishna and the Krishna consciousness movement. So therefore we have a grave responsibility to take up the process ourselves. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Take up the process very seriously and sincerely. Attending the morning program, having a nice sadhana, being a sadhaka bhakta, following regular principles of freedom, chanting nicely 16 rounds Hare Krishna Mahamantra, engaging in devotional service as far as possible, as far as practical in one's life, and utilizing one's riches for spreading the Sankirtan movement. My mother had passed away this year, and there was no money except that my father had paid for a grave next to his in Tucson, Arizona. However, she passed away in Orlando, Florida. So my elder sister decided to cremate her and bring the ashes to Tucson and spread them over my father's grave. Just this last May, me and my son went and we chanted Govinda Jai Jai and Hare Krishna as the other family members and other people that were there poured the ashes. And because they didn't have to use another grave, the insurance at the memorial, at the funeral home, they gave the children $1,200 to split 3 ways. So we used that $400. I was fortunate situation I used all 400 to engage in the Sankirtan mission. Of course, it actually cost us to rent a car and drive to Tucson, so it was 400 minus the expenses. But we utilized it for the Sankirtan mission, and we performed Sankirtan at the yagya, at the memorial. So we have to somehow or other, whatever the situation may be, utilize whatever wealth we have. Even one time, Srila Prabhupada was in New York. He tells this story. And one neighbor came and brought a roll of tissue paper and donated it to the temple. And devotees were like, what is this guy doing? And Prabhupada said, this is the beginning of his devotional service. That he's donating something, he's giving with love and devotion, although it's very seemingly insignificant. It's something, and it's the beginning of devotional service. So, if we somehow or other get some fortune, we have to follow this advice to make the world a beautiful place. Can you imagine if everyone did that? What kind of temples on every block there'd be a humongous ISKCON of Los Angeles. Every 50 feet we could build temples and have book stalls, book tables, and constant kirtan parties going. If everyone would donate 50% of their wealth, 50% of their, even just their excess, 50% of their savings, and keep 25% for emergency, keep 25% for family members, but giving 50%, even if devotees just do that, even if all the devotees, things would increase at least fivefold, at least twofold, if not fivefold. So we should be well aware of that this is the method that Maharaj Parikshit used to defeat the Kali, the influence of Kali. This is the real religious practice, that everything has to be used in the service of the Lord. Spiritual life doesn't mean just to meditate and save myself. That's good. But actually it means to engage everything in the service of the master of the senses. Rishikesha Rishikena Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. First class devotional service means Atak Pumbir Dvijashreshta. What is that? No, it's the Dharmasya Samsiddhis Haritosanam. That's not the verse. That one has to utilize everything in the service of the Lord. And this is the topmost devotional service. Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. This is the way of devotional life. Anything that we have, any facility that we're given, anything that we can basically put our hands on, utilize in the service of the Lord. And that's the perfection of devotional service. It's a science and it's simple for those who are very straightforward, and for the crooked it's a little difficult because they can't understand this fact of utilizing everything in the service of Krishna. I remember when I first joined Krishna consciousness, we were sent to downtown Seattle. And one of the devotees was always looking in the windows of the Marshall Fields or the whatever big buildings were downtown Seattle. I forget the streets now. So we'd go over that devotee and, Prabhu, what are you looking at? And he said, I was just thinking that wouldn't this make a great temple for Lord Krishna? I don't know if that's what he was thinking at the time, but when he was approached by another devotee, immediately he was so Krishna conscious. Wouldn't this be a great temple building? Wouldn't it be wonderful if a devotee owned this Marshall Fields and we could utilize everything in Krishna's service? And then I was like, yeah, that's really Krishna conscious. He's not just spacing out from the Harinam and book distribution and staring in the window. He's meditating on utilizing everything in Krishna's service. So this is the science. And the more that we apply it, the more we ourselves advance, and the whole world becomes peaceful and happy. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. I still can't do this.